Ready to sketch out your dream career? Today, we're diving into the world of drawing artists.
We're talking portfolios, interview tips, and how to impress those hiring managers using RoleCatcher's career and interview guides.
It's about more than just drawing skills, right? We're talking about translating ideas into powerful visuals, whether it's for animation, advertising, you name it.
Absolutely. And that's where RoleCatcher's AI can really give you an edge. Think of it like a personal brand strategist for your artistic career. It analyzes your experience and skills to tailor your CV, and even analyzes your practice interview answers, all geared toward the specific role you're after.
So let's say I'm an aspiring character designer eyeing that dream animation studio. How does RoleCatcher's AI help me stand out?
It's all about highlighting the right stuff. For a character designer, RoleCatcher might suggest you emphasize anatomy knowledge, your character development process, or even experience with industry-standard animation software. It's like having insider info on what hiring managers are looking for.
It's like fine-tuning your artistic voice to resonate with each specific job.
Yeah, exactly. Now, let's dive into some common interview questions that RoleCatcher highlights. One that often comes up is, can you describe your experience with various drawing techniques and mediums? Sounds simple enough, but it's your chance to really showcase your range.
So it's more than just saying I can use pencils and charcoal.
Way more. It's about showing you understand how different mediums achieve different effects. For instance, you might say, I love charcoal for quick sketches and expressive lines, but I also appreciate the detail I can get with pen and ink.
So it's about the why behind the tools, demonstrating that you're making conscious choices to achieve a specific artistic vision.
Precisely. And here's where you can weave in those insights from RoleCatcher about the specific role. If the job description emphasizes digital illustration, you'd want to talk about your experience with Photoshop, Procreate, things like that.
It's like having a co-pilot in the interview, guiding you to emphasize the most relevant skills. Okay, next question. RoleCatcher highlights this one. How do you approach a new drawing project? This feels like it goes beyond just inspiration, right?
100%. It's about showing you have a structured approach. They want to know you can go from that initial spark to a finished piece.
So, talent's important, but so is having a system. What are some key things to mention in your answer?
Talk about your creative workflow. Maybe you always start with research and reference images. Or maybe you create mood boards to explore different visual directions. Even something as simple as saying, I always begin with a series of thumbnail sketches, shows you have a process.
And if you use project management tools, that's a great thing to mention, especially if the role involves collaborating with others or juggling deadlines.
Absolutely. Those skills show you're not just an artist, you're a professional who can handle the demands of the job. And here's a cool thing. RoleCatcher can actually analyze your answer to this question and suggest ways to tailor it even more to the company culture. If they value agility and problem solving, RoleCatcher can help you highlight those aspects of your process.
That's wild. It's like having a career coach giving you personalized feedback. Okay, this next question always makes me a little nervous. How do you incorporate feedback into your drawing process?
It's a tough one, right? As artists, criticism can feel personal, even when it's well-intentioned.
Exactly. So how do you balance staying true to your artistic vision with being open to suggestions?
It's a balancing act for sure, but in a professional setting, being able to take feedback well is super important, especially in fields like design and illustration, where collaboration is key.
So how do you walk that line? Staying true to your vision, but also being open to constructive criticism.
Honesty and humility can go a long way. You know, in an interview, you could say something like, I see feedback as a chance to grow. I'm always aiming to create the best work possible, and sometimes that means being open to different perspectives.
Right, showing you're not afraid to refine your ideas and work together. Speaking of which, RoleCatcher's Guide also brings up this question. Can you describe a time when you collaborated with other artists or creatives on a project?
This is your moment to highlight those teamwork skills. Think back to a project where you had to really collaborate effectively. Maybe it was a group exhibition, a design project with multiple people involved, even just brainstorming sessions with other artists.
So more than just saying I'm a team player, what are some specifics you can talk about?
Give them a real example that shows off your communication skills, your ability to compromise, how you work towards a common goal. Did you use any online collaboration tools? Did you have to adapt your style to make sure everything meshed well in the final product? Those are the kind of details that stand out.
And don't shy away from mentioning any challenges you faced as a team and how you overcame them. It shows you can handle those bumps in the road that inevitably pop up.
Exactly. Now, for a question that tends to trip people up, can you describe a time when you had to troubleshoot a problem in your artwork? Look, everyone makes mistakes. It's how you deal with them that really matters.
It does feel like they're trying to put you on the spot with that one, so what's the best way to handle it?
Reframe those mistakes as learning experiences. Pick a specific instance where you hit a real obstacle in your process. Maybe you got stuck creatively, or you made a technical error while trying out some new software.
So less about pretending you're perfect and more about showing you can problem solve. What would make a strong answer here?
Walk them through your thinking. How did you realize there was a problem? What steps did you take to fix it? Did you ask for help, experiment with different techniques, research other approaches?
It's about proving you can think critically and adapt, which are crucial skills for any drawing artist, especially in such a fast-paced field. Speaking of keeping up, RoleCatcher also asks, how do you stay up to date with current trends and developments in the art world?
The age-old question, right? Proving you're not just skilled, but also engaged and evolving.
So should you list off every art blog and Instagram account you follow?
Not really. It's more about showing a genuine interest and commitment to continuous learning. Talk about exhibitions you've been to, artists whose work inspires you, maybe even art publications you read. That demonstrates a deeper level of engagement.
It's walking the walk, not just liking a few posts, right? Actively seeking inspiration and pushing your boundaries. What would be a good example of that?
You could say, I was recently really inspired by the use of color and texture in Artist Name's latest exhibition. It's got me experimenting with similar things in my own work. It shows you're not just observing, but incorporating those trends into your own growth.
Demonstrating that you're a lifelong learner, always looking to level up your craft. That's got to be valuable to employers.
Hugely. Okay, moving on to a question that lets you really show off your passion and accomplishments. Can you describe a project or piece of work that you are particularly proud of? This is your time to shine.
Time to break out the portfolio and show off those masterpieces.
Well, not quite a whole exhibition's worth. You want to pick a project that really highlights your skills, your problem solving, that unique artistic voice you bring. Maybe something that pushed you out of your comfort zone or where you overcame a major challenge.
Like telling a story about your creative journey, not just showing the destination. What are some things to focus on when you're telling that story?
Start with the setup, right? What was the project? What was your role? Then get into the good stuff. What inspired you? What roadblocks did you hit? How'd you get around them? What'd you learn?
And if you got feedback along the way, definitely mention how you incorporated it. Shows you're collaborative and always striving for the best.
Exactly. And remember, your enthusiasm is contagious. If you're genuinely stoked about the project, that'll come through in your answer. All right, last interview question for today. It's a big one. How do you balance your own artistic vision with the needs and expectations of clients or collaborators?
That's the tightrope walk, isn't it? Staying true to your style while still delivering what the project needs.
It's a dance every artist has to master, from freelancers to in-house folks. They want to know you can be both creative and collaborative, respecting their vision while bringing your own flair.
So how do you strike that balance in an interview? How do you nail this question?
First off, acknowledge that understanding the client's needs is key. Active listening, clear communication, that's huge. You could say something like, I'm all about working closely with clients to really get their goals and find creative solutions that match their vision.
Showing you're not just there to take orders, but to collaborate and find the best solution together.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to mention that you bring your own unique style and ideas to the table, too. That blend of respecting their vision and adding your own creative spice is what makes a collaboration sing.
What about when those creative differences come up? How do you handle those tricky situations?
Time to showcase your diplomacy skills. Share an example of a time you faced a creative clash and how you navigated it. Maybe you found a compromise or presented different options that worked for everyone.
Proving you can handle those bumps in the road with grace and professionalism. That's what they want to hear.
You got it. And hey, throughout all of this, remember, RoleCatcher can be your secret weapon. From tailoring your CV to specific roles to analyzing those practice answers and giving you personalized feedback, it's like having a career coach in your corner.
A whole support system to help you put your best foot forward and land that dream drawing artist gig.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of drawing artist interviews, remember, you've got the talent, you've got the passion, and now, thanks to these insights from RoleCatcher, you've got the tools to rock those interviews and turn those artistic dreams into reality.
Go out there and wow them with your skills, your creativity, and your passion for the art of drawing. Until next time, keep those creative sparks flying.